Welcome to Three Voices Unfiltered, where no topic is off limits and everything gets real. Join us,
Ranisha,
Teresa,
Suzanne, as we dive into hot topics, share our wildest experiences, and bear our honest opinions and thoughts. Buckle up, because with us, it's always raw, always vibrant, and absolutely unfiltered. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Three Voices Unfiltered. We're happy to have you here today. You're probably noticing that I have an extra accessory. I know. So if you've been following us since the beginning, a few months ago, I fell, dislocated my shoulder, was working with it, trying to make it get better, doing therapy. I thought I was fine. And a few weeks ago, I was just simply stretching and it popped right back out. So the doctor said, the only thing we can do now is surgery. So I had surgery last week and I am on the mend.
Yes, I'm glad. Suzanne.
Yeah, we can, hopefully this guy will be my friend for no more than 5 more weeks.
And you'll be able to do a handstand very soon.
No. Wash your hair.
Wash my hair.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I have to pay somebody to wash my hair.
I love to pay people to wash my hair. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it every
That's
few days.
self-care.
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't wash my hair every 2 weeks.
I
every
go to the
3
hair
weeks.
salon, so I don't wash my hair.
Yeah, isn't it self-care?
It was nice though. It was really nice.
bet.
So I'm going to do it again, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow, we're going to our
Anywho.
episode today, and Teresa's going to lead us on that one.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I am going to say welcome again.
That's right.
Today we're going to be talking about something like a little bit strange, but I think everybody can probably attest to this particular topic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start out with: have you ever been told that we normally swallow 8 spiders while we're sleeping?
I've heard that.
Oh gosh,
I've heard that.
You've heard
Not
that?
really about swallowing 8 spiders, but eating bugs in your food, like at restaurants. So you probably eaten about 8 spiders.
Yeah. There's a myth going around
That you
about
inhale.
that.
I've heard like when you're sleeping, you're going to like breathe them in or something. But okay.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Here's another good one, that when you shave, your hair grows back thicker.
I have heard that one.
Yeah,
that
I heard
one
that
might
one
be
too.
kind of true, because when I first shaved, I had like nice baby hair, and now it's thicker.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
true? Or
I
not?
don't know, because
It's not true.
my daughter
Oh.
used to have thick eyebrows, and she wanted them waxed, and I told her no, they're going to thin out. And as soon as she started waxing her eyebrows at like 16, now she's like, Mom, they are so thin. I wish I never got them done. And
Yeah, and
So
I
I don't
can
know.
Yeah, and I can attest. When you're getting older, they do thin out because mine are.
Mine are thinner,
I got
too.
Yeah,
I got micro, blading.
Blading.
Oh
I
wow!
have no eyebrows. This is all tattooed.
Wow, awesome. Well, anywho, today we're going to be talking about debunking myths. So let's go ahead and get into
That's
it.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think
Because a lot of
parents-
times, myths could be turned into misinformation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Misinformation.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they regurgitate. I'm gonna put some of these myths, lies in parentheses. Okay, from generation to generation to generation.
As facts.
Okay, as facts. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it can be cultural. It can be tradition. But they're just not true. They're just not true. First question: why do you think people believe in myths?
I don't know if it's you believe in them or you're just told them very young.
Enough that you kind of...
Yeah, I mean, because parents...
becomes the norm,
Yeah,
maybe.
because parents tell you things that their parents told them, that their parents told them. And you don't know if... I'm sure they're not trying to lie. Like, I remember you couldn't chew gum because if you swallowed it, it would stay in your stomach.
Oh, I remember that.
I remember that.
Remember about
that, you guys?
Swallowing watermelon seeds meant you would grow watermelon in your stomach.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, they would tell us all these crazy
But
things.
we would tell our kids that, and I wonder if it was like kind of like a scare tactic
Of not
to keep
doing
you
something.
from, to keep you from doing something
Yeah.
that didn't really harm you at all.
What about like cracking your knuckles?
Yeah,
You'll
will give you
like,
arthritis.
Yeah, you get arthritis.
that
yeah, now that's a complete lie, and I'm going to tell you why, because I looked that one up.
Okay.
I looked that up because I'm like, is that true? You know? But anyway, they said joint cracking is caused by gas bubbles in the joint fluid.
Ew, joint fluid.
So the myth is if you crack your knuckles, that causes arthritis. Mm-hmm. That's the myth, right?
And
so
it
I guess
doesn't.
we get some gas bubbles in our joint fluid, there, and then that's why, Yeah,
pop.
but the bottom line is that it does not cause arthritis. It just does not.
How about the one when you cross your eyes? Like you couldn't cross your eyes
Because you're
they'll
stuck
stay.
like this.
They'll stick.
Yeah, we were told that when I was younger. I remember my mother telling me that. Don't
Why
cross
do we
your
do
eyes.
that? That's so weird.
It was fun though.
Is it? But here's another one. We had it.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, do
I just
it.
did.
Let me try to do it. My eyes gonna stay like this.
Oh my God. And I'm gonna put a disclaimer in there. We are not making fun of anybody. Okay?
Don't do
who
that.
has
Don't try
issues.
it.
Don't try to do it.
But
Yeah.
we're making fun of it. But the point is that we were told that when we were younger, and we believed it.
We believed
And
it.
we didn't do it.
I still believe the thing about not looking directly in an eclipse. Is that true?
Oh, that's true, actually, though.
I don't know if
But
that's
has
true.
anyone ever? I mean, I've looked at
A
it.
solar eclipse. You're not supposed to look at it.
But is it true? Is that a
Yes.
myth?
I researched that and it was actually true.
It's okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've always wanted to look at it,
Well, you
But you can look at it with the glasses,
but not without.
not without.
It would cause what? Blindness?
It can damage your eyes.
Wow.
I'm not going to specifically say like what type of damage, but
Well, somebody
I do know
research
that
that
it
for
can.
us and put it in the
Look at it.
comments because that would be interesting to know.
I'm pretty
To
sure
know.
that's true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, for me, you guys, I'm going to direct this conversation real briefly on like pop culture and social media and how it's being used for misinformation. All right.
Oh, yeah,
It's a little
a
bit.
lot.
We made fun of the certain myths that we all grew up with, but let's talk about just misinformation
Yeah.
that's being communicated through social media. And I have seen it so much on so many different social media platforms where people will say something and it is a totally untrue.
Yeah.
I want to say one right now about what this current administration says. Someone in our current administration in the White House said that gas was $1.99 a gallon. And this was recent, and there's nowhere in the country that gas is $1.99. Nowhere. So some people will take that information and think that is true, and they will keep perpetuating that truth. So that's misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
one that my mom, I remember, would tell me, and she even told me recently, it was about that you don't take a shower after you eat. Or you don't go swimming after you eat.
Or you don't go swimming. You don't eat before you go swimming.
You don't eat before swimming, or you don't swim after eating, whichever.
Yeah, because it'll give you cramps.
But she was telling
drown.
me a shower. I said a shower is not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
I will be fine. I can take a shower after eating. But that stuff, she honestly, truly believes is true. Like I tell her, she did not believe me because this is what she's heard, 70 plus years of her life.
Yeah, I know one that will help a lot of people. Everybody thinks that it's a law you have to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. And that's absolutely not true. Matter of fact, it's the opposite. Law enforcement agencies would like for you to report that missing person as soon as possible.
But there have been cases, though, that they make you wait even 48 hours.
That's true.
They will tell you that, but a lot
It's
of
not
people
a law.
think it's not a law.
So you push people.
Yeah, so you have to really be an advocate for yourself and for your loved ones
because they say that the first 24 to 48 hours are crucial
Right.
in finding someone right away.
Right. So I just wanted to put that
That's
one out
interesting.
there because, I'm not trying to be too serious.
Because we don't want to break the law and you think that, I have to go home and wait 24 hours.
Right.
But
That's
you
right.
can just kind of keep pushing and say, show me where that law is.
Right.
Yeah, I think a good rule of thumb would be to reach out if somebody's missing, and then go,
Yes.
no matter what time it is,
Yeah.
That's right.
reach out.
Especially
to
if you know
law
the person's
enforcement.
pattern and you know that they're not like that. They usually respond to messages or calls, and they're just,
I got one, especially if someone is suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's.
or a mental condition even.
And
Immediately reach out. Immediately.
So
Here's one, Teresa.
That's a good one.
And Suzanne, that I'm sure you guys thought and probably used about sugar and hyperactivity with children. It's a myth.
yeah.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
that sugar causes hyperactivity. There is no scientific evidence to support it.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that one. I even said
Like,
that.
don't give your kids, don't give them candy. It's
Don't
going to
give
make them
me
hyper.
But
No.
have you ever had a sugar crash? I think
I
I've had a
haven't.
sugar crash before.
I haven't.
Well,
Where I got a little woo, and then I was like, oh, I'm
But
so
let me tell you
tired.
this. What about that myth pertaining to sugar causes headaches? Totally not true.
I didn't know it.
Yeah,
I never
they said,
heard that.
Yeah, they said while low blood sugar
Oh.
can cause headaches, sugar itself.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't.
So
Yeah.
the condition can cause
That's
it, but
true.
not,
Yeah,
not
that's
the-
true.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. What about the one you guys? I heard. I read about vaccines causing autism.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
It's a big one because
Yeah.
That's a big debate.
I'm not going to
That's-
say who. Someone in my family refuses to give the children vaccinations because
of
of
that,
that.
belief.
I did they gave me everything, all the things, and I don't think I have autism.
Yeah, I think
I've never been checked, but
no studies. I have not performed any studies. I have researched and I have read, and they're saying that all these cases are popping up. I think because we're documenting them more. That's why
Information is more readily available.
And I think we're
That's true.
documenting more, and maybe that's why I think maybe some may be even misdiagnosed. This is, but
remember when they were
there's more to research on that one.
yeah.
diagnosing kids with ADHD just because they didn't want to sit in their desks, they didn't want to listen to their teacher.
Yep.
I mean, they didn't want to do just because of behavioral things,
Behavior
Medicating
issues.
them,
medicating them because of that.
and there's nothing wrong. Like if a child needs to be medicated
Right.
because of ADHD or whatever other situation is going on is fine. But I do feel that many kids were misdiagnosed.
The doctors were just giving that stuff out like it
and
was
teachers
candy.
were begging for
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
And teachers were begging
Because
for
I
it.
personally,
Yeah, because they don't want to deal
they
with
don't want to deal with it.
the behavioral issues. Yeah. Yeah.
I call them unruly.
And the
unruly
parents
child.
don't want to deal with behavioral
No.
issues.
Yeah.
So the kids were zombies, basically,
Wow.
walking around like zombies.
Yeah. What about, did you hear about the one where microwave causes cancer?
Yes.
Yeah.
The radiation from the microwave.
No. Okay, they said that, I'm going to read
Interesting.
what the experts say. They say microwaves use non-iodizing radiation, which does not have the energy to damage DNA like ionizing radiation such as X-rays.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and I side eye the air fryer a little bit too, because I'm like, what's this technology that'll cook these French fries in like 2 minutes? So I feel like balance
Yeah.
over usage. I don't know. I feel like it could. Over usage of anything could cause health issues.
Stuff that doesn't seem not like I don't use our
doesn't-
microwave that much.
Right.
Rarely do I use it anymore, but I don't know.
Yeah, and plus, who
Yeah.
stands there while the microwave
My
is on? Really?
I had an ex that did that.
Oh gosh,
He
I would
was
throw
so
something in the
hungry.
microwave and I'm over here doing something else.
He would count the seconds. That's how much he ate. He was so hungry.
Wow.
He would sit there and watch it count down in front of it.
Let me tell you what happened to me years ago. Do you remember, this may have been mid to late 90s, there was this cleaning solution that was the trend, and you would microwave it for a little bit. You would mix the stuff and you would microwave it, and it would clean like anything and everything. So I am sometimes a microwave watcher.
Oh,
Not often. Now my microwave is down on the island, so I have to like really look. But I would look to see, but make sure that it wasn't boiling over or whatever. So that day I put that solution, that cleaning solution, in the microwave as it recommended. And I was looking at it, and I backed away and walked away, and that thing exploded. It threw the microwave door open, and all that hot chemical flew everywhere in my kitchen.
Oh, wow.
It, by the grace of God,
yes.
it didn't get me in the face. I mean, it could have blinded me, burned me.
In the middle of it, like
I
watching
was
it.
literally seconds from turning away, and that terrified. So ever since then, no, I don't stare at it that much anymore. I learned, because I said, what if that thing it was like a bomb.
Wow.
It was terrifying, and the thing was I did it too long.
I wonder if most people do that. I think most people don't stand in front of the microwave.
I don't know.
Well, put that in the comments, everybody.
Yeah, let us know. Are you a microwave watcher, or you're a microwave walk away and come down back when it's done?
Look, I come back when it's done, and the warning bell rings that it's been in there too long sometimes. So yeah,
I have something controversial. Maybe.
Okay.
Parents. This is for parents. Is it okay to talk about, hey, Santa's going to give you these gifts and put them under the tree, and the Easter Bunny's going to give you money for your tooth, and all those fictional, remember, myths that we used to tell our kids, or
Santa, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy.
The Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, what else?
I think those are the three I did. Oh, well, in Puerto Rico, we did Three Kings Day.
Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus.
Yeah, well, Santa Claus, for me, I'll just tell you my experience with Santa Claus. My son's dad was a Muslim, so
no Sandy Claus.
First of all, my son did get gifts.
Clarify,
okay.
Right?
But I just never hyped up Santa Claus. No,
I remember when we were working. You don't do that.
I didn't, because I was married to a Muslim.
And you said to me, I'm not going to give Santa credit for the gifts I'm buying. That's right. Like, that has never left me. You said that. You said, I'm not letting him get the credit.
I'm fat man credit for all the work I'm doing.
But exactly, you did say that.
But did you believe in Santa Claus when you were little?
Yeah.
I did.
When I was little, yeah.
Because that's what my parents told me, but I didn't do that with my kids.
Yeah.
It's funny because I started getting old enough because Santa Claus or the Three Kings always left us notes. So I was old enough one year. I remember, I'm like, this handwriting really looks like my mother's handwriting. I must have been maybe 9 or 10, like old enough to know better. And I said, this is not Santa Claus. So me and Jimmy were looking around. We found our gifts. We found skates. We took the skates out. We were skating. Bad. Just nosy. And we put the skates back. And then after that, I'm like, I know. Yeah, we did. Because it's just, I always had this investigative mind. And I was like, that's not no Santa Claus. That's her handwriting.
With your gifts before Christmas.
Oh, my goodness.
I ruined probably Jimmy. Poor Jamie. I might have ruined it for him. I don't even know.
But yeah, those are some deep
beliefs that are generational.
Yeah. So, and I keep using this word misinformation because it's kind of misinformation too. Don't let me use the word. Don't let me use the word lies.
It's just a lie.
But do you think it's fun for the kids though? I think they like it.
I mean, is there a thing of a good lie and a bad lie? Like
no, a lie's a lie.
Are they just lies?
Or a white lie?
Oh, a white lie.
Yeah, somebody told me one time I'm going to save my lies for something important. I'm like, what in the world did I just hear? Yes.
That means you're gonna
lie.
You planning to lie. Yeah.
I cannot stand lies. Yeah. Like, one of my pet peeves is people that lie.
There are people who just lie so badly that
it's ingrained in them.
Over anything.
It's ingrained in them, so they just take the easy way out and just lie. Some people lie for no reason. Nobody asked the question. Nobody
reason. Their mouth start lying to you,
They
and
just
I'm like,
lie.
And I will say, because I'm not a good liar, I tried as a kid when I was, you turn, where were you at? I was at so-and-so's house or whatever, or I didn't go buy candy at the store, whatever the lie may have been. I always got caught. Like my mom always
I never got caught.
So I didn't try anymore because I wasn't good at it. But going to say that because I'm not a good liar, I'm not a good lie catcher. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you don't.
I can't count. It takes me a lot for me to. I start thinking about it, and I'm like, that didn't really make a lot of sense, and I have to like process it. But in front of me, you can be lying. I'll probably believe you because I'm not good at catching it.
Yeah.
You just need the spirit of discernment.
Yeah.
Unless you're like very like John can't lie. He tried to lie to me one time. It wasn't anything bad. Something like, did you come in the house with your shoes on? Something silly like that. And he's like, no. And I'm like, you're lying. He's grinning.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He's going beet red, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so we're not good.
Yeah, you're just not, because you're not wired to. You're just not wired to. And people, I know I get on people's nerves because when somebody is say to me, like I had someone say to me, if that person, if he didn't want to go somewhere, he'll just tell somebody I'm doing something else. I'm like, you're lying.
You're lying.
Or if you find someone who is in a parking lot and they're asking you for money, or on the side of the street and they're asking you for money and you tell them you don't have it, and you got a pocket full of money and you tell them you don't have it, that's lying.
That's a lie.
Have I done that? No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just being honest. If you're talking about the purity,
that's true.
Of
I mean, I think I say I can't help you, or I don't know.
It's like so easy to say, "Hey, you got $1?" No,
I don't have $1.
Not for you. I got one, but not for you.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
so, any other interesting ones?
Okay. Not off the top of my head.
So you're not lying. You got one, but not for you.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
We want to try to be kind.
Usually I don't have cash, so I'm not lying, but I don't have cash.
I saw a young lady sitting in front of Walmart a couple weeks ago, and she was just sitting there in the hot sun, and she was asking people for money, and I went up there to her and like, and I'm not, it just touched my heart that she was sitting there, and people just going about their daily lives, and like, I walked past her too, and I'm like, no. Let me go back and talk to this lady and see what I can do to help her. And I just went to her and I asked her, is everything in it? What's your name? First, I said, hey, I'm Ranisha. What's your name? She told me her name, and I was like, what do you need? She was like, I need $10. I was like, okay. I gave it to her. I gave it. She said she need $10. I gave it to her. I'm like, well, do you know Jesus? She's like, I do. I was like, okay. Well, I'm just going to pray for her.
Well, you know that passage in the Bible talking about you never know if you're going to be entertaining angels.
She said she knew Jesus. So I was like, okay.
All right.
And I just walked on. I was like,
wow.
But yeah, that's the first time I think I've ever done that.
You know who's really a softie to give money? John. As tough as he is, he will roll down a window, especially if they say vet or something, and he will throw them $20, $10, whatever. Yeah. He's really a softie about that.
John's a good guy.
John.
We love John.
Aw, yeah.
Anyway.
In his neon green shirts. Yeah. I love it.
His workout shirt. No, working outside
his
shirts.
Uniform.
That's so funny.
I guess he's so used to wearing a uniform in the Marines. When he was in the Marines.
That's cool.
For 20-something years, huh?
That's funny.
Anyway, guys, we're going to get back on topic for really quickly. Okay, let's talk about thinking critically. When we do come across misinformation.
And fact-checking.
You want to check the source.
You want to check the source?
Google is free. And now we got AI.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference between myths and misinformation. So myths are supposed to be lighthearted and fun things that people share. I mean, parents do it to raise their kids different ways, but misinformation is bad.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
bad. So do we eat egg spiders?
No.
I hate spiders. I do not like bugs.
No. But when it does come to things that you're really curious about, because we want you to be curious about things, okay? Even the fun stuff that we laughed about here today, go and do your research and look it up, and look it up.
That's true.
Now I don't know how you're gonna look up Santa.
Santa don't
the
exist.
Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy, but it would be interesting. But it would be interesting to know, where did that start? That just be interesting. So we want you to stay curious when it comes to these myths and, of course, misinformation. And there's a few websites out there that you can go and use when you when you want to, find out some information. And, we'll call them critical thinking tools. That's what we'll call them. And there's Snoops. Anybody heard of Snoops? I've heard of Snoops. Been on it. Love it.
I've never heard of it.
Snoops. Yeah. Is it Snopes or Snoops?
I think it's Snopes.
Anyway, it's spelled Snopes. So Snoops would be with probably two O's instead of one, right?
Snopes.
However you pronounce it. Yeah. So it's spelled Snopes. And then you can plug in media bias, plug in fact check, and then whatever it is you want to check out. So there's tools out there that you can use to find out if something is true. I'm gonna give you some. This might be a little bit off topic, but I'm just gonna give you something as far as research is concerned. Every time I'm on Amazon. Every week, every time I'm on Amazon, and I got stuff in my shopping cart, you guys. But every time I'm on Amazon, what I have learned to do is I have learned to look at reviews.
Oh yeah.
I have learned to look at reviews because I want to know what are the people saying about this particular,
Some
product.
of those are.
You have to be careful because
That's
a
true.
lot of times, that's why I look at like all of them,
I look at pictures.
And I just don't even go with just what Amazon, says. Then I go to another store. So in other words, I just don't trust sometimes just one source.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's right.
Yeah. So we just want to just throw that out there as well. But anyway, all right. Well,
This was good.
Yeah.
this was a good one. This was half fun. Half silly, but that's okay. We want to thank you guys for listening to us today. We want you again to stay curious, research, do your research. Don't take one person's word for something. We invite you to share your myths that you grew up with or that you heard. As well as any misinformation. Let's get the conversation going.
That's right.
Yeah,
And stop lying to your children. That's the main point of this talk.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to read a quote to you guys. This one, I kind of like it. It says, "A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes."
Ooh, that's good.
And this is attributed to Mark Twain. Most people heard of Mark Twain.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I can visualize that.
Wow. Okay. All right. You guys. Okay. Do we have any hashtags for today?
Hashtag 3VU Mythbusters.
There you go.
Wow. That's a good one. Thank you, Renisha.
I'm a little Lulu.
No, you were very coherent today.
All right.
All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Bye. Catch you next time.
Bye. Do us a big favor and hit that like button, share this episode, and subscribe.